In today's video, I'm going to cover 3 topics. Things that are found in the school, in the river, and in the palace. Hello everyone, Auntie Mabel is back to the Esan language class. And in today's lesson, we're going to be covering 3 lessons in one. And at the end of the video, I will explain to you the reason why I decided to do these 3 lessons together. So the lessons we are doing today are lesson 8, which is on things that are found in the school. Lesson 9 is on things that are found in the river. And lesson 10 is on things that are found in the palace. So as usual, I'm going to go onto the laptop and teach us the lessons as usual. I'm sure all of you must be used to this structure of these lessons now, of using the Sir Odiagbe's book, which is the introduction to Esan language book 1. Right, class, I'm going to tell less stories around the items in today's lessons, because as you can see, there are 3 of them. So I don't want the video to be too long, so I'll just try and say the words as quickly as possible and only tell stories where necessary. So today's lesson, first one here is lesson 8, which is Ilwemi Elele. Elele in Esan is 8, and this is on common things in the school, which in Esan is Eba Miewi Isiku. So although Isiku is the popularly used term for school, it's another Esanized word, but there is another word for school or house of learning, which is Uwa Ebe. So it's just a place of learning, or house, literally mean house of learning. So but everybody generally calls school Isuku, or the older people will say Isuku, while the younger people will just say school. So but the first thing here as usual is Ebe, which is book. Ebe is book. You must know this now. We've used it for several words, and it's the same word for leaf. Leaf in a tree, L-E-A-F. Y, Ugege or La, Ugben is the fountain pen. So Ugege, La, Ugben is the fountain pen. I must say, when I was growing up, I never used any of these words. We just use biro, which in the UK they would call pen. But what traditionally we call the biro, everybody know something like this. Let me show you. Something like this is what we were always using in school. So we will just call it biro. Okay? So that's that. Then the pencil, which as you can see is another Esanized word, which is ipensolo, which is for pen, pencil. Then another word down here again, another school word is ibenchi, which is the traditional school. As you know, the rural schools those days, we all sit in benches, and we have a table in front of you, and maybe 2 or 3 people will be sitting together in one bench on a sharing table. So I must tell you that we do have traditional words for sitting equipment, like as you can see here, aga, la, agala. This is a word we also learned when we're doing things in the house. So it's a chair. So chair is aga, la, agala. Where there's also other sitting equipment like stools. There are traditional individual chairs that are usually used in the kitchen, use individual sitting stools. So we call those ones ijoko. So ijoko are stools in Esan. So we do have our names for sitting things, instrument or equipment like chairs. A go-go is the bell. So, which is a very nice ringing tone to hear at the end of the school day. That was an exciting time of the day. Then, ododo is the flower. Remember, these are most popular hibiscus flower, which we also mentioned when we're doing things in the home, at home or in the house. Then uwa, which is house, is there. Obviously, there are always buildings in the school. So uwa is house or building. So this is the Edame. That's the end of lesson 8. Edame, which is Edame Lele, test 8. Bati Ena. What are these called? So as usual, those who have the book, you can do those homework. Then we're now going to go to lesson 9. Lesson 9 is Iluemi Isinli. Isinli is 9, which are common things in the river. Ebamieri Ede. Ede is river. We also use this Ede when we're doing the vowels, those who remember. Then the first word here obviously is ehen, which is fish. Fish is ehen la ehenle vesan. So in Esan is ehenle ehen la ehenle. When I say vesan, vesan means in Esan, ve Esan. So agbaka, and which is agbaka here. So both crocodiles and alligator and crocodile, they are the same family, so they are both called agbaka in Esan. So I hope you get that. Oko, which is a canoe is called oko in Esan. While akile is called frog. Frog is called akile in Esan. I think both frog, toad, and that same family, they are all called akile. So this is usually very common word that is used sometimes. So yeah. Then ozi is crab. Crab is ozi in Esan. Right. So that's the end of that river lessons in the things in the river. As you know, we have always said, as Onojie said, these are just things to tease the class, to kind of encourage the class and give examples. So you are supposed to be able to tell more things. Well, I'm still waiting for you guys to give us some more examples in the comment section class. So this is a Dame Isinli, which is test 9. Bati Ena means what are these called? So you do that as homework as usual. Then we now come to lesson 10, which is a nice way of ending those individual words and pictures in this book. So I will tell you at the end of this lesson what we'll be going to next. I think it's a nice way to wind down actually with things in the palace. So Iluemi Igbe. Igbe is 10. So then common things in King's Palace, which is Bamieri Isi Onojie. Onojie, as I told you, is the name that are traditionally called all the kings in Esan land. Esan land, we have several kingdoms within the Esan, and they all have individual Onojies. So like Ekpoma have an Onojie, Irua have Onojie, Ubiaja have Onojie, and so many other towns and cities. Towns, or they're more cities now, like I always say. They are very big now. I'm very civilized as well, compared to when I was a child, many years ago. So please tell me in the comment section what's the name of your town. If you don't know, ask the person, your parent or your spouse, what is the name of their current Onojie in their town. I need to go and find. I think my one is Abumere. I can't remember the number. I think Abumere the second or so. I will also go and find out and try and put it in the comment section for us. Right, so let me go straight now. Onojie, which is for short, can also be called Oje, is the king. Omoada is the person who holds like the servant, as you know, in the Nigeria traditional royal system. They will always have a person who holds the traditional sword. So as you can see here, so Omo Ada. When we get down to the next page of this lesson, you see Ada is a kind of a name for this sword. So Omo Ada is somebody who carries the sword. Okay. Ivie is the bead. I actually have a real one here. So Ivie is the bead, the traditional beads. They are very important. Ojuku is the throne that the king sits on. So Ojuku is the throne. Why here is the Ada that you saw there. The Omoada was carrying. Ada is a kind of a ceremonial sword. And this is a Ben. It's another kind of ceremonial sword. Sometimes the chiefs kind of hold these ones. Like when we're doing the vows, if some of you can remember, I was trying to describe a Ben for you there. These days, when people are doing the celebration of life of their parents, and doing the burial ceremony, as you know, back in Esan land and in most Nigerian community, when your parents is elderly and they die, it's almost like a carnival, a celebration of life. The male children will usually carry an ebe during those ceremonies. Yeah. Then the next one here is Ihuemi. Ihuemi is drum, as you can see here. Ihuemi obviously is very common in the king's palace because there's always celebration, and some of the drum are for different ceremonies. Like in Ekpoma, when we do the Ihwe, which is the annual festival, people will usually dance and to the Onojie's palace, and drums will be beating and stuff like that. So it can almost be like a mini carnival during the annual festival in Esan land, or in Ekpoma, which is the one I'm used to, which is actually very fun, fair kind of dressing up on the first day of the festival. They call it Inaisa, so where people will dress in different forms. And obviously there's another story around that. Probably when we start telling stories in Esan, I'll be able to tell you how that is done and that celebration. So then the last one here is Ukbuge, and this is not just ordinary feather. It's a special feather that sometimes the king or the chiefs can wear on their heart as part of ceremony, and they will usually have significance. So it's not just, they are special feathers, and they are usually bigger than the normal chicken feathers you will see. So these are special ceremonial feathers. So, and that's the end of that. That's the Edame again. Test 10. Edame Igbe. Bati Ena. What are these called? So you are expected to answer those. So that brings us to the end of this individual words and letters, which is ending nicely on page 50 for those of you who have the book. So when the next part we'll be doing now will be the RBD again. I'm just going to do, by the subsequent lesson, I'm going to do a whisk through, just a revision for us, those of you who have not followed this lesson, so that you can understand it, or just a reminder, because we are going to be going into serious learning, which I'm going to tell you after I come off the laptop. Well, I hope you all enjoyed those lessons once again. So you've learned some new words in Esan language. So the reason why I decided to put these 3 lessons together is because at the end of lesson 10, this is the end of the individual words and pictures of the structure of this lesson. So we're going to be now going into learning the words and words formation, which is a key part where you have to learn how to form words, then before you move on to sentences in Esan. I know some people have already started asking and even making attempts to write some sentences, which is very commendable. So, however, the lessons 11 to 15 are some of the things we have covered already. So I'm going to try and put the link to those videos in the comment section, or the introduction, or the description part of this video, so that we can take time to do those revisions. The reason why you need time to do this revision class is because Auntie Mabel is going to be doing some special series, because of the questions some parents have asked me, and some people are also, the adults are also asking me. I can see there are some reasons why some people might not be as committed to this language lessons, learning the Esan language as much as they would have loved to. And also there are some blockages, some unanswered questions. So I'm going to do a mini series where I'm going to address the difficulties that people are having in learning the Esan language, or any other language for that matter. So while I'm doing those series, please don't run away, and those series will actually be beneficial to all of you. So trust me, they will really be interesting. They will unpick some of the struggles you might be having, some of the dilemmas that you might have been struggling with, those who have asked directly or those who haven't asked. So anyway, while I'm doing that, so please try and prepare yourself for this next stage of this lesson, which is really key. And with this, you're moving on now, or you're going to be moving forward now to the next stage where you're obviously going to start learning to speak this language a lot more. You know, okay? So yes, and on that note, class, I'm going to say Wabulu as usual, and I will say, please, those of you who have not subscribed yet, so please subscribe to our channel. As you know, we need to grow. We're putting so much effort in preparing these videos. I must tell you, it's not easy. The recording and the editing, it just takes hours and hours and hours, especially for old schools like me. And also, please leave us the like button. It's just very easy. I keep saying it doesn't cost any. You don't have to write any sentence. It's just one simple touch to like. At least if you learn some new words from this video, I see no reason why you cannot like the video. And also, please share to all those you know that want to learn this language, or you know that are struggling to learn this language. There's so many Esan people out there who will benefit from these lessons. And also, please leave us a comment. It's really important you leave us comments so that we actually see how you are learning these lessons, how you are using these videos to improve your skills. If there are some areas you want us to cover, things you think you want us to do differently, then it's good to hear those things. And also, please share and put your notification bell on so that you will know when we upload new videos. Really, this coming up series that I'm going to be doing next, they are really going to be interesting and going to be beneficial to everybody. So on that note, class, Wabulu, and Wakimboy. Wakimboy class, Wakimboy.